Easy listening to NURFM 103.7. It is a Tuesday afternoon, which means health and well-being. Naturopath David Lomman is here, and our topic today is the head. We're finding out about the head, David.
It is all about the head. When I was considering what to talk about today, I thought, well, we've covered other parts of the body. Why don't we look at the head?
Is it an important part?
Well, we can't live without it,
No.
so it's a bit important to us, yeah.
What are some of the areas of concern related to the head?
Well, the thing is, the head can show us so much about what's happening in the body and so much about what is happening for the person that owns the head, because that's the real key to it all. If you own that head, what's that head showing you?
Yeah.
And we rarely consider it.
One of the strong structural points, of course, is your jaw.
It is, and the jaw's got to be and it's got to be in alignment.
Yeah.
Your jaw has to be in alignment because that jaw is what chews the food. And if your jaw is not in alignment, you're going to put your neck out, and that's going to cause other problems with shoulder problems and other types of issues. So it's important to know about the jaw and to know that the jaw and the structure of the jaw is hinged on the second and the third cervical vertebra at the back of the neck. But the real importance is your jaw in alignment? And there's a very simple test that people can do for that.
How can we find that out?
Well, basically, all you do, and don't do this if you're driving, of course, but if you look in a mirror and actually put your fingers underneath your cheekbone, but just alongside your ear, and open your jaw should open in a straight line with no deviation on either side. And if that doesn't happen, then chances are there's a misalignment of the jaw itself, of what's called the TMJ, temporomandibular joint. And if the TMJ is misaligned, you can have headaches, you can have tight neck and shoulders, you can be grinding your teeth at night, you can be doing all these sort of things which can easily be fixed with a little movement of the jaw in the right way.
Now, what about concerns with the mouth?
Well, the mouth is basically where we put our food, but also the lips are a sign of what's happening. Are your lips dry? Do they peel? Are they bluish? Is there any discoloration of them? Because those all point to lack of oxygen. Are there any wrinkles around them? Sometimes with smokers especially, you'll see very heavy lines around the mouth. Well, that's a B vitamin deficiency. So the mouth by itself tells a lot. If it cracks in the corners of the mouth, that's a B vitamin deficiency. But in order to get all the B vitamins into your body, you have to improve the digestion. So we've got to go back to the program that we talked about so often here on this program, which is water, food, minerals, enzymes, getting everything into the body so the body functions really well, and then the energy will flow through and correct the imbalances that are happening with the mouth. So it's all about looking at things that in the past you may not have looked at with kind eyes, and saying, thank you, head, thank you for showing me what's actually happening in my body through the warning signs that I'm reading on my face.
Now, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about an important part, which is a good sign to if we're not feeling well, because it can be runny and it can sneeze.
It can indeed, and it can be totally blocked up, and some people can't even breathe.
We'll come back and find out about that one in just a moment. Also, what about your calls? If you've got a question for our naturopath David Lomman, all you need to do is pick up the phone, dial 49216216, and you'll get to talk to him soon here for Health and Wellbeing at 2NURFM. Look, we've got Matthew with us right now from Muswellbrook for you, David.
Hello, Matthew.
How you going?
Yeah, good.
I'm permanently blocked in the nose all the time. I've been like that for about 20 years.
Yes.
I've been using Rexine instead of using it 3 times and giving it up. I'm permanently on it so I can breathe through my nose. Is there anything I can do about it?
Yeah, the simple thing is to look at the diet, Matthew, and just see what it is that could be actually creating that blockage in your nose, and it usually comes back to the diet. I used to have a really blocked up nose, and I'd had lumps behind my ears. Once I changed my diet, and in particular I got rid of dairy and wheat, all of that went away. So it's more about what you're eating and the reaction of your body producing mucus, which then blocks up the system, than I believe about anything else. It can also be about misalignment of your neck, so you have to look at that as well. But once you can start to open up those passageways, your body will respond and rebuild itself. But it's more about diet, I think, than anything else.
So What should I be eating then to help it then?
Well, normally you change from dairy to rice milk and do a few other things. Is there a local naturopath you know of around that area that you can go to?
I'd have a look and find out. I'm only new in the area, but I'd find out.
Yeah, just see if you can find a local naturopath. This is the sort of thing we deal with all the time. Blocked up sinuses, inability to breathe, all this congestion up in the nose. It's a really fairly simple one to sort out if you're willing to make some changes.
And we've got Graham joining us now from Cessnock.
Hello, Graham.
Hello.
Hi.
Good morning. Or afternoon now, isn't it?
It is. What can we help you with, Graham?
I'm a tooth grinder
Right.
of a night time, bad snorer,
Yes.
and also have benign tremors.
Right. How long have you had the benign tremors, Graham?
They've been coming in for the last 10 years.
Are you okay if I just ask you just a couple of questions about your medical health?
Yes,
Have you been on any heavy-duty medications at all?
not for a long while.
About 10 years ago?
Yes, I probably about 88 I was on prednisone,
Yep.
and I've been on Ventolin for many, many years until about 15 years ago, and now I only take Simicort for my asthmatics. I'm asthma.
Okay. So the most likely situation is that the minerals are low in your body, and if you can build up your minerals, like your calcium, your magnesium, your zinc, those type of minerals, as well as the B group vitamins, you'll usually be able to lessen the tremors because they are not fully there yet. You know, they're just starting, as you said, they're coming in.
Well, they've got worse over the years. I was a builder,
Yes.
retired.
Yep.
I'm 68 this year.
Okay. That I'm not worried about the age.
Right.
It's more about the functioning of your body.
Yeah.
So grinding your teeth is a mineral deficiency usually, but it's also about misalignment of the jaw.
Yeah.
So there's things you can do there. The benign tremors are usually caused by deficiencies of the B group vitamins and the minerals in combination. So if you can get the right measurement of the B group vitamins, calm, steady the nervous system, work on realignment of the spine as well, often these things can resolve themselves.
I was seeing a chiropractor down in Cessnock a while back, about 12 months ago now,
Right,
for crook shoulder.
right,
That's why I was on prednisone.
right.
I nearly dislocated the shoulder at one stage, and that's when I had my last real bad attack of asthma in that period, because I ended up on a anti-inflammatory with an asthma base, and
Yeah.
that blew the asthma right out of the water, plus a lot of stress at that time.
Yeah, so it's all about rebuilding, Graham, and the sooner you can do something about it, the easier it will be to do. But as with Matthew, it's about making changes to your diet and looking at what's actually happening in your body.
If you'd like to talk to our naturopath, David Lomman, the phone number 49216216 at 2NURFM 103.7. Newcastle and the Hunter Valleys, 2NURFM 103.7, Health and Wellbeing with naturopath David Lomman. We're finding out about the head today and health concerns about that. And we led off a little while ago, before we took your calls, we're talking about the nose. It gets a bit runny, it gets blocked up, it can sneeze, and it can be a great indicator to if we've got some impending problems or some health problems. Can't it, David?
It can indeed. And the nose isn't supposed to do that. The nose is supposed to be clear, allowing you to breathe more freely and more easily.
Okay, now that's the nose, that's the issue there. What about the ears?
The ears, often people get wax in the ears, it gets a bit flaky, it gets a bit out of balance, people get blocked up hearing. All of these things, your head is trying to basically tell you, aren't the way it's supposed to be. We're not supposed to have, blocked up nose. We're not supposed to have waxy ears. All of that is an indication that the diet isn't actually working as effectively as it's supposed to for the person's body. And it's not really a diet even, it's the way that we eat. We're all different, so we need different things. As I was saying before with Matthew and Graham, if we eat the right foods, those things don't happen. There's case after case after case, book after book after book written by people who've overcome symptoms such as those, plus many, many other symptoms, because they changed their diet.
Now, they call them the mirror to our souls, the eyes.
The eyes, sparkly, bright, shiny, looking like the person in there is alive and vibrant. That's what the eyes are supposed to be like. And, you know, I've got friends who do iris diagnosis, and they look at the eyes through a microscope, and they can pick up things in the eyes that people can't believe they can see there. And that's been proven, especially through German practitioners over 100 years ago. They started to look at the eyes as the mirrors to the soul, but also the way in which you can tell about the health of a person. So a lot of naturopaths use iris diagnosis to look at those eyes, find things deeper that are going on in the body. I tend to use the RBTI. I have in the past used iris diagnosis.
Okay, we are looking at the head today. It is Health and Wellbeing with naturopath David Lomman, and we are going to come back and take a look at the forehead and the scalp. Very interesting areas. We'll find out details about them. But right now, it is David Lomman telling us about something special coming up, David.
If you suffer from anxiety, depression or fatigue, I believe you don't have to. If you suffer from an allergy, hormonal imbalance, or from being overweight, I believe you don't have to anymore. I'm David Lomman, host naturopath from 2NURFM's Health and Wellbeing program, and I invite you to join me tonight at New Lambton Community Centre and to learn how you can reclaim your health and wellness in a natural, proven and manageable way. Join others who are coming for the very first time, ask questions about your specific health issues, and see how we can help you help yourself. Tonight at New Lambton Community Centre, Alma Road, New Lambton. Entry is free, but booking is required. I look forward to seeing you there tonight at New Lambton Community Centre.
Newcastle and the Hunter Valleys, 2NURFM 103.7. Nobody does it better. It's Carly Simon. 23 to 1, you are listening to Health and Wellbeing with naturopath David Lomman. We're looking at the head today as we continue on with the forehead and some issues that we can have with that.
Yeah, well, a lot of people have lines across the forehead and running down the forehead, and they all signify something. Sometimes it's emotional issues held within, but often it's actually lack of water, that the person is dehydrated. So those deep grooves that people get right across the forehead, that's usually a sign of dehydration and lack of water. So when you're looking at someone, just look and just see. Their face tells so much.
What about the scalp, David?
The scalp, well, you know, the hair, if you have hair, is supposed to be bright and shiny. It's supposed to be lustrous and look really good. If it's not there, you, of course, can't tell too much about it. But most people have dull, lifeless hair these days. And that's about the diet we eat. So if we can get the right diet into the body, the hair will usually recover, the scalp will send energy to the hair, and the hair will respond with that.
Any health issues with the back of the head? Any concerns
Well,
there?
the back of the head, if you ought to be able to touch any part of your head, not feel any pain. If you're feeling pain anywhere in your head, then there's something out of misalignment. There's an inflammation somewhere in your body, and it usually shows up somewhere in the head. So if the back of the head is sore, you get headaches at the back of the head, there are things that can be done to actually alleviate those problems.
And finally, as we deal with the head today as our topic, what about the neck?
The neck. Look, I've had times where I couldn't turn my neck. It was jammed up. It felt like it was tucked into my shoulders and I couldn't move it at all. In actual fact, that was the very first time that I ever went to a chiropractor, was back in 84, and 83, 82, when my neck just jammed.
You must be old.
For no reason.
Quite a long time ago.
It was quite a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I couldn't move it. And I've got more flexibility in my neck now than I had back then. So it can be worked back into your body, that flexibility. It starts, though, with water, food, minerals, enzymes, doing all the basics just to get things back in alignment, and finding a good practitioner that you can work with that can help direct you towards the right treatments.
Now, David, just finally today, if someone would like to come along and be part of what you're up to with your forum tonight, whereabouts are you?
We're at New Lambton tonight.
And that's about it for us today. We'll look forward
It
to your
is.
company again next Tuesday.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, everyone, for calling in.
It's Health and Wellbeing with our naturopath David Lomman. Back again next Tuesday, same time, here at 2 and URFM 103.7. Coming up next, easy listening favourites for your afternoon with Greg Richard.